It's frustrating for me when people say, I don't want to drink Miraval. I'm like, you never
but-
tried? Well, like you.
But
You have
that-
the view. He's
no,
a perfect
no,
example.
but that's why. No.
So what is Fleur? The full recipe. When you explain how we made it, the full concept, you will really understand. First of all, 100% Côte des Blancs for the sourcing. Pinot Noir, 25% Premier Cru Vertu, the village right after the Ménil, still belong to the Côte des Blancs, give us very juicy and vibrant Pinot. 75% Chardonnay Grand Cru, majority of Ménil. Okay? Second of all, here the Pinot Noir is vinified as rosé and the Chardonnay as white, hence no tannin. This is where the Perrin really bring the expertise of rosé maceration, lightly infused, as we don't bring any red wine into Fleur de Miraval ER. Okay? So rosé and white. No one else does this. Last but not least, your Pinot Noir here, you would have guessed now, is the only young part, the only fresh part. All your Chardonnay here, 75% Grand Cru, are reserve pack vintage Chardonnay. Two ways of aging them. 50% is what you have just tried, perpetual reserve, so non-refresh. So we extract the wine first and then we do the blend. So they have been aging like Réserve Oubliée, 12 months on fine lees. So here is a blend for your four. It's base 2019. Perpetual Reserve Chardonnay 18 all the way back to 2007 to really have this complexity and backbone of ER. The last 25% is the most crazy, expensive, daring and tricky, is what we call remise en cercle. We use and we source each year 3,000 to 4,000 bottles that we open manually. They're a bottle of champagne with second fermentation. We disgorge them one by one. We open them up. We put it back to a tank and we use it in our final blend. In order to recreate this wine with all those noble reduction we love of Blanc de Blanc, which is almondy, nuttiness and reduction, we use actual bottle of champagne.
To make sure, then all of this goes the second fermentation.
So those bottles is third fermentation.
So it's in a sense that one of the part of the champagne goes for third fermentation.
Exactly.
That's the point. That's what I was talking about. It's better that he explains than I do.
No, but it's true. So the history started in 2015. However, the whole history started in Miraval, obviously, with the Mr. Pitt buying the castle of Miraval and partnering with the Perrin family to create Miraval Provence as a 50-50 partner. Very quickly, Miraval became a success because in 2013, the Wine Spectator put it on the top 100. And it was the only Provence, the only rosé, and it became an instant hit. It was not Brad Pitt still wine, it was actually a beautiful rosé from Provence made by the Perrin family. So this is 2013. 2014, Mr. Pitt expressed the will of expanding project from Miraval. He's a big champagne lover, and as a champagne lover, he's like, guys, let's do a champagne, but let's do a house only dedicated to rosé champagne as a tribute of the rosé color, what we do great in Provence. 2015, the Perrin and Mr. Pitt partner with the Peters family here in the Ménil-sur-Roger to create Fleur de Miraval. So we are the only house dedicated to the rosé color and rosé champagne.
How did the houses meet?
Perrin and Peters, famous winemakers, they always know each other. They collect each other's wine. They also have a few things. They're all independent family. Pierre Peters, 6th generation, Perrin, 5th generation. They're also very geeky about wine, so they actually met through technical expertise exchanging. At some stage, the Perrin family have created La Vieille Ferme, the chicken wine, sparkling, and he called Rodolphe, Pierre Perrin, he called Rodolphe, said, look, I have a question about bubbles. So it was more about tech.
Continuity.
Yeah, and when he hung up, he said, oh, by the way, Brad wants to do a champagne rosé. And this is unofficial, but you can say it. And he said, well, but I'm in the Ménil. But the Perrin really understood that if you want to craft the best champagne rosé or best rosé, it has to come from a very white wine soil. Actually, Miraval in Provence, the soil is very limestone, very calcareous. And back in the days when you meet older generation of sommelier, when they think about Miraval, they think about white wine, white Provence. But if you want to have a beautiful rosé with a drinkability and a sapidity, better come from a very white wine soil. And we are in the Ménil-sur-Roger creating the only house dedicated to rosé. Obviously, it's very daring, but that was the idea. But they also love this village. It's the kingdom of the Chardonnay, kingdom of the Blanc de Blanc. We are here in the heart of the Côte des Blancs. And they understood that if you want to craft the best champagne rosé, you have to come from this village. Also, there are families who, after 5 and 6 generation, you can really relax, and play golf if you want, and let people work. But those people understand the heritage they have, and they are really pushing themselves. So it's mostly, and that I can say it officially, because it's mostly an ego project. It's not a financial project, it's not a marketing project. It's about, we want to create the best champagne rosé, and it's about like, fuck off. And this is a fuck off project. And when they started having no marketing or financial agenda, they had to define what was for them the best champagne rosé. So what they did a benchmark. They opened all the famous white Grand Cuvées we know, from DP, Cristal, Comte de Champagne, Don Renard. They're really in love with the Côte des Blancs, firstly, so they love Comte de Champagne, Don Renard, all those beautiful cuvées. And they tried the rosé version in the same vintage. And they realized a few things. They realized that for them, those houses always do a true focus on the white, but there's never a particular blend on rosé. Usually, the rosé blend is the white version with a percentage of red wine added. Usually, to make it Grand Cru, they blend 2 different regions, so Côte des Blancs and Montagne des Reims. So Chardonnay Cru, Chardonnay Terroir with Pinot Noir Terroir. You were in Haï, actually, Pinot Noir Terroir, Pinot Noir Cru. So more extraction and more, obviously, not heaviness, but more power. And for them, this is what was wrong. They're like, when we tried the rosé, what we love in the white is those old Chardonnay, creamy, nutty, chalky, but getting this very reductive part, this very grilled part we love so much in Chardonnay. But when you try the rosé version, it's never as great as, because for us, the Chardonnay is taking over, the Pinot Noir is taking over, bringing rusticity. And it's like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir combined together from the same age, they don't age the same way in parallel. And we love the way the Chardonnay aging by itself, but over time, when it's a rosé, we think like it's the Pinot Noir always taking over. And it's like an unbalanced yin-yang. And that was the key. So when they started this project, they had no idea how to do it. The vision was, we want to create a rosé, unlike vintage, which is like fresh and juicy and elegant, more on the citrusy side actually, like we do in Provence. But we want it to remain very Blanc de Blanc style, very old, nutty, grill and almondy. And on paper, this project wasn't possible. And it's thanks to the expertise of Perrin and Peter's 6th generation here, who came up with something crazy and something so unique that I'm going to explain. But yeah, and the concept was, and the challenge was, you need a wine before bottling who already has this characteristic of old champagne. You understand? Because if you do like the other houses, you put the same vintage together, so eventually the Pinot Noir will take over. So we needed a wine which remained fresh, but with the characteristic and the dimension and the depth of old Chardonnay. And this is a benchmark now. No one ever created a blend like this. It's frustrating for me when people say, I don't want to drink Miraval. And I'm like, you never tried? Well, like you.
But
You have the view, he's a perfect example.
But that's why, it's the common thing. Everybody has this thought. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, but I think even the Perrin and the Peters, they don't blame anyone, It's just me, I'm blaming them. I'm like, fuck off, it's so tough,
What was the...
No, I'm not blaming them. It's just, it's a marathon.